The Backrooms. Everyone seems to be confused about the ending and how there's no plot in the film. Let's talk about it. So, The Backrooms has a long history that I'm just not going to get into in this video, but long story short, the fans created the lore of The Backrooms, and Kane Parson had the most successful version of showcasing the Backrooms and how creepy it can be and how uneasy you feel walking through endless hallways. And then a movie was made about it, and everyone's super mad that there's no plot. If you've not seen the movie yet, beat it, because I'm about to spoil everything. Let me explain the ending. The third act of the film takes like a really strange character switch with Clark's character, and they don't really flush that out, which is kind of one of my big negatives of the film. But they do start building up the lore of the Backrooms, so us, the audience, can kind of understand what's going on. And he basically explains that the Backrooms itself is kind of like a different dimension that just holds everyone's memories who enters the back room. So whoever goes into the back rooms has now had their memories basically imprinted into the back rooms. But it's kind of like exactly how they explained in the movie that if someone has never seen a dog before and then they are told to draw the dog and explain what you just saw to someone else, yeah, they can kind of get it right, but there's going to be things wrong about it because they just don't remember it fully. So when you go into the back rooms, there's situations, people, and even just full locations that look very right, but they're wrong. And I really do like Clark's character because the entire point is that he's a failed architect and he's thrown into the back rooms, which is completely an architect's worst nightmare. It's like stuff that should make sense but doesn't make sense, just like his real life. And to explain Mary's character, she's a therapist who needs a therapist. That's pretty much long story short. She doesn't have her life together either, and that's kind of how she ties into this story. And by the end of the film, we are face to face with the Async Research Institute, which are the scientists in all the yellow jumpsuits. They're the ones exploring the backrooms, trying to learn more about it. But we learn that they're basically the ones who created the backrooms because their company used to create MRIs, and they do not do MRIs anymore because they accidentally created this pocket dimension of just layers of things that remember you. Just like an MRI creates layers to see an image. It's the exact same thing, but in the back rooms. And they explain that the people that show up, just like the places in the back rooms, are just remembering the person just a little bit off. And that's kind of where like this theory has developed where every person that the Async Research Institute has captured might be the imprinted people that we see throughout the film, that it kind of originates with them. Everything starts with them. This is now the fifth biggest domestic opening a horror film has ever received. It is already over $80 million in just one weekend, and the budget was $10 million. Kind of mind blowing.